Hello and welcome. Today we're going to tackle one of the biggest, most important ideas in all of software development, object-oriented programming, or OOP for short. Now, if that sounds a little intense, don't worry. We're going to break it all down and show you that it's a concept you're actually already using every single time you open up Delphi. So let's get into it.
Really think about that for a second. You go to the component palette, you grab a T button, and you just drop it on your form. And boom, it's there. It works. You can change its properties, give it code to run. It kind of feels like magic, right? But what's actually going on under the hood? What's the fundamental programming principle that makes all of that possible?
Well, that's the cool thing. Every single time you've designed a window or added a component in Delphi, you've been using objects. You've been a hands-on user of object-oriented programming. So today, we're going to pull back that curtain, we'll figure out the how and the why, and we're going to take you from just being a user of objects to being a creator.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll start with the big idea behind it all, using a really simple analogy. Then we'll get into the core lingo you need to know. After that comes the aha moment, where we connect all of this to the Delphi code you already know and write. Then we'll actually build our very first object from scratch, and finally we'll wrap up with why this entire approach is so incredibly powerful.
Okay, let's jump into our first section. To really get a handle on what OOP is, we need a good way to think about it. So let's forget about code for just a moment. Let's think about a real-world blueprint instead.
Yeah, a national ID card is the perfect example. See, there's a standard design, right? A blueprint that says every single card has to have a spot for a photo, a name, an ID number, a date of birth. The design is the same for everyone. But the card in your wallet is uniquely yours. And right there, that perfectly explains the two most important ideas in OOP. The blueprint itself, the design with all the rules and the empty spaces, that's what we call a class. But the actual physical card that you carry around with your photo and your information filled in, that's an object. So a class is the template, and an object is the real individual thing you create from it. All right, so keep that blueprint idea in your head. Let's move on and start putting some official programming names to these concepts. This is really the core vocabulary of object-oriented programming. First up, we have the class. Now, the definition here says it's a data type that describes attributes and behavior. A simpler way to think of it, it's the specification. It's the recipe. In the Delphi world, T-button, T-label, T-form, those are all classes. They're the blueprints for what buttons, labels, and forms are supposed to be. And you guessed it, if the class is the blueprint, then the object is what you build from it. It's a specific instance of that class. So when you drag that T-button onto your form, you're creating an object, probably named button 1. If you drag another one, you get button 2. They are both objects made from the same T-button class, but they're totally separate individual things. So what makes those two buttons different from each other? They're attributes. Attributes are just the data fields of an object. For an ID card, the attributes are things like name and ID number. For your button 1 object, the attributes are all those things you can change in the object inspector, like its caption, its width, its height. They're simply the properties of the object. But objects don't just sit there holding data. They can do things. And what they can do is called their behavior. These are just the methods or functions that are part of the object. For a button object, the most famous behavior is the on-click event. That's the action, the code that actually runs when someone clicks it. And that brings us to this really key idea, encapsulation. All this means is that we bundle the data, the attributes, and the actions that work on that data, the behavior, all together into one neat, self-contained package. That package is the object. Your button object knows its own caption, and it knows what to do when it's clicked. It's all in one place. Okay, now for my favorite part. Let's connect all of these new terms to the code you've been staring at for years. This is the aha moment where everything should really start to click. Seriously, every single time you start a new project in Delphi, this code just appears. But have you ever really looked at it? The keyword class is sitting right there in plain sight. This line is literally saying, hey Delphi, I'm making a new blueprint. It's called T-form 1, and it's a special version of your standard T-form blueprint. You've been defining your own classes since day one. So let's make this crystal clear. T-button, that's the class. It's the blueprint that defines what a button is and what it can do. But when you write code to create a button while your program is running, the variable you use, like btn dynamic, that holds the actual object. That's the real tangible instance of a button that you can see and click on the screen. So how exactly does a blueprint become a real object? Well, that happens through a special kind of method called a constructor. You can think of it like the factory that builds the object. You tell the constructor which blueprint to use, and it manufactures a brand new object for you. And I bet you've typed this line of code 1,000 times. That .create method, that is the constructor. This is the command that says, hey, tButton class, run your constructor, build me a new button object, and when you're done, put it in my btn dynamic variable. And by the way, this whole process of creating an object from a class has a name. It's called instantiation. Okay, so you get it. You've been using Delphi's built-in classes all along. Now it's time to take that next step and define your very own class from scratch. It's time to go from just being a user of objects to being a creator. So let's imagine we're making an app to sell phones. We can define our own blueprint, our own tPhone class. As you can see, it's got attributes like brand and price to hold its data. It has a constructor called create to actually build the phone object, and it has its own behavior, like a getPrice function. And look at this. How do we use it? It's the exact same pattern we used for a tButton. Object name equals classname.create. We just call the create constructor on our new tPhone class. We pass in the specific data for this phone, its attributes, and out comes a brand new, fully formed tPhone object. We've literally just invented our own custom data type. So, okay, we can make our own blueprints. That's kind of neat, but why? Why go through all this trouble? In this final section, let's really get to the heart of it and answer that big question. Why does any of this matter?
This is the real payoff right here. OOP isn't just some fancy academic way to organize things. It genuinely helps us write much, much better software. By making a tPhone class, we can reuse that blueprint anywhere in our app that we need to deal with a phone. By bundling data and behavior together, we create these independent, self-contained modules that are way easier to manage and debug. And this idea of encapsulation actually helps protect our data, which makes our whole program more stable.
This quote from the source material just nails it. With OOP, we stop thinking about data and functions as these two totally separate things. Instead, we start modeling things from the real world. A phone isn't just a bunch of data fields, it's the data and the stuff you can do with it, all wrapped up together in one elegant package. So there you have it. You now get the difference between a class and an object, and you've seen how to build your own custom blueprints right inside Delphi. This is a huge, huge step forward in your programming journey. So the only real question left is, now that you have the blueprint, what are you going to build?